shouldn't be sharing a platform with an avowed racist and an avowed fascist.
It makes no sense to me to try and ban a political party from appearing on Question Time. If you've got a party that 1 million people have voted for, then their leader has to be able to be heard. You can't stop the BNP being on television in debates. Who controls television? Who should tell you who should be on and who should not be on? What kind of thought police are we operating now? 1 million of you voted for this man, but we've decided it's not for you to see him speak. Where I grew up in suburbia, it was white suburbia. There were people I knew, people whose parents would refuse to sell their house to an Indian family because they wouldn't want to do that to the rest of the street. Or the Asian guy around the corner shop was regularly tormented by white school kids. But now that school is 40% Asian. Now, 30 years later, second generation, third generation immigrant families have now established their own businesses, created their own wealth and moved out into white suburbia. There's more of a mixing, more of a multiculturalism, but I still feel that those racist values are entrenched. It's not hard to trigger them, it's not hard to bring it to the surface.
People first for a change. Put the white British people first in jobs.
As growing up in the 70s, it was a big issue. Everywhere we went, the National Front painted on the walls, British movement, and people at my own school. And you knew that it might affect you on a Saturday night. And I don't like the idea of there being any town in England where there's such a strength and confidence in far-right thuggery that can actually begin to affect the lives of people. So now we're invited to vote for which party? None of them said anything about the credit crunch that just happened. None of them anticipated the problems that we're in. Nobody trusts any of them. And now their reputations are in the mud because of their expenses scandal. People are scouting around for a protest vote. This is a very substantial protest vote. What makes people angry, it seems, are people who appear to be less deserving than they are, doing better than they are. And it's an easy knee-jerk thing to say, well, the person who's just arrived in the country is automatically less deserving than me. They may be harder working than you, they may be more intelligent than you, but it feels like they're less deserving and they can become a scapegoat. None of these views stand up to any close analysis, but they're emotive and they can be whipped up and they can result in an openly racist nonsense party securing 1 million apparently rational human beings voting for them. And this is the kind of thing that has to be opposed, identified, argued with and stopped and not ignored.